Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at some really interesting shifts happening right now in decentralized finance.
Yeah, definitely seeing some movement.
We've got data pointing to a, well, pretty surprising change in where fee revenue is piling up across different blockchains.
Absolutely. We've been digging into the recent numbers, daily and year to date, and the contrast in fee generation is, well, it's quite remarkable. It really suggests a potential reordering.
So our goal today is to really unpack these numbers, understand what's causing this shift, and what it tells us about how crypto is evolving. We're working from the source we're calling pasted text.
Right.
So let's jump right in. What's immediately striking is this huge difference in daily fee revenue.
It really is. I mean, what grabs you right away is the sheer scale of it. You've got Pump.fun pulling in, $2.88 million in daily fees.
Yeah, 2.8 million. And then you look at Ethereum.
And Ethereum's at $360,000. It's a massive gap.
And it doesn't seem like just a blip, right? The data suggests this isn't just a one-day thing.
No, exactly. It looks like part of a kind of ongoing trend. When you look at the year-to-date figures for 2025, it gets even clearer.
What are those looking like?
So Pump.fun has already generated $294 million in fees this year.
Okay, $294 million.
Compared to Ethereum's $248 million over the same time.
Oh, wow. So, okay, daily, we're talking nearly an 8-to-1 ratio in favor of Pump.fun, a platform known mostly for Memecoins, out-earning the bedrock DeFi network by that much daily. That really makes you stop and think.
It certainly does. You have to ask, where's the activity, where's the capital actually flowing right now?
What's the engine behind this? You mentioned Pump.fun's structure?
Yeah.
Something about PumpSwap.
Yeah, exactly. A key piece seems to be the architecture they've built around their own decentralized exchange, PumpSwap.
Okay, so PumpSwap is their native DX, their in-house trading platform.
Precisely. And the information points to this very smooth integration between launching a token on Pump.fun and then trading it on PumpSwap.
How does that work?
Well, once a token finishes its initial bonding curve phase on Pump.fun.
Right, the initial price discovery part.
Yeah. It automatically gets listed, migrated over to PumpSwap for trading. It creates this kind of self-contained system. The source calls it a closed loop.
Ah, I see. So it keeps the momentum going.
Yeah.
The launch buzz flows directly into trading volume on their own platform.
Exactly. They capture the fees from both stages, basically. It's a very effective vertical integration strategy for keeping users sticky and, clearly, for generating revenue.
Makes sense. Keep it all within the family, so to speak.
And they've added some other sort of advanced features, too, like MCP server integration for AI agents.
AI agents, what does that mean in this context?
Essentially allowing automated trading strategies, maybe analysis bots, to interact directly with the platform. That likely boosts volume and sophistication.
Interesting. So it's not just about being on Solana with its low fees, although that's surely part of it.
Oh, definitely a part.
But it's also this specific, deliberate platform design, like a specialized tool absolutely nailing its niche.
That's a good way to put it. It highlights how specialized platforms can sometimes outperform the big, general-purpose ones in certain areas.
And speaking of Solana versus Ethereum, that brings us to the transaction costs, right?
Yeah.
That has to be a major factor here.
It's huge. You can't really talk about the shift without talking about gas fees.
So what are the specifics? How different are we talking?
Well, the figures are pretty stark. Average gas on Ethereum may be hovering around 20 gwei lately.
Okay, 20 gwei, which can add up fast.
Right. Now compare that to Solana, where a transaction costs less than 1.01 SOL. It's negligible, really.
Practically free in comparison. And that's critical for the kind of activity on Pump.fun, isn't it? Lots of small, fast trades.
Absolutely essential. If you're trading meme coins, doing lots of small transactions, or if you're a dev launching something experimental, those Ethereum gas fees can just wipe out any potential profit margin. The source mentions it diminishes profitability, especially for retail.
Yeah, you can't afford to spend dollars on gas for a $10 trade repeatedly.
Not if you want to come out ahead. So this cost asymmetry, it's almost certainly a massive driver pushing users towards Solana and platforms like Pump.fun for this specific type of activity.
And presumably, that pressure continues until Ethereum scales significantly,
That's right.
Until layer 2s become more dominant or the mainnet fees drop somehow.
You'd think so. And it's worth remembering Solana isn't some tiny sidechain. We're talking, a market cap around $74.88 billion US?
Right. Trading volume is strong, too, like $1.68 billion in 24 hours.
Huh.
Based on the May 6th data, it's a major ecosystem in its own right.
Definitely. It has the capacity and the low cost to support this kind of high volume activity.
Okay, so bringing this together, Pump.fun's success, the high revenue, it feels like more than just another fleeting meme coin craze. Does the source suggest this market segment is maybe maturing?
Yeah, the information makes a pretty strong case for that. It argues this isn't just temporary hype.
How so? What indicates maturation?
Well, a few things. We're seeing more sophisticated tech being integrated. Think AI tools for content creation, maybe meme marketing, even predictive analytics coming into play.
Okay, so more strategy, less random luck.
Potentially. And the financial mechanics themselves are evolving, using things like bonding curves, which automatically adjust price based on demand.
Right, like a continuous pre-sale mechanism.
Exactly. And integrating automated market makers right into the launch pad. It adds a layer of financial sophistication you maybe didn't see in earlier meme waves.
Plus, the sheer scale is incredible. The source mentioned over 10 million tokens launched on Pump.fun.
10 million. That's an enormous amount of experimentation.
It's like a giant petri dish for crypto ideas.
Precisely. And the thinking is, with that much experimentation, some genuine innovations are bound to emerge, things that could influence DeFi more broadly.
So maybe we should see these platforms less as just casinos and more as potential innovation labs for financial products, for community building.
That's the argument being put forward. They could be test beds for new models of creating and distributing value.
And just to add a bit more context here, the source also noted Ethereum's daily fee revenue recently dipped below $1 million.
Yeah, for the first time since, what, September 2024?
Right, which really throws Pump.fun's $2.88 million daily figure into sharp relief. It underscores this shift we're talking about.
Definitely highlights that something significant is happening. It's not just Pump.fun rising, but also a relative dip for Ethereum in this specific metric at this specific time.
Okay, so let's try and synthesize this. The key takeaway seems to be that the data points towards a noticeable shift in DeFi momentum. Maybe.
I think that's fair to say.
We're seeing platforms like Pump.fun, built on Solana, getting serious traction. And it looks like it's driven by, well, a combination of much lower costs compared to Ethereum.
Crucial factor.
And these specialized, very tightly integrated ecosystems designed specifically for things like meme coin launches and trading.
Yeah, that synergy between the low costs and the purpose-built platform seems to be the winning formula, at least in this particular market segment right now.
Which leads to a fascinating question, really, for you listening. What other established blockchains might see similar things happen? Yeah. Could niche platforms pop up and challenge the big players on their own turf by specializing?
That's the big question, isn't it? Are we seeing the start of a trend towards more specialization across DeFi?
It feels like it could be. Maybe the era of one chain dominating everything is changing.
It makes you wonder about the longer-term implications. How does this change the future of DeFi? How will digital assets keep evolving? Definitely something to keep a very close eye on going forward.